So we're going to make some ice cream. For this project, you're going to create your artboard. Let's do 4x6. Okay, so 4x6 inches. RGB color mode is great. And then go ahead and hit the create button. We're going to use a really awesome color palette picker online called Coolers. So let's go open up your browser and we're gonna go to coolers.co, and there's a ton of stuff. You can actually use this for free if you just hit the start generator button. Basically what it does is it just automatically comes up with random color palettes for you. So if you hit the space button, it's gonna come up with a bunch of random color palettes. Go through all of these color palettes until you find one with some really nice colors that you like, that you think would look good for your ice cream cone project. So I stopped on this one, and now we need to get these colors into Illustrator. Each color has a hex code. It's a 6-letter or digit code, and this will tell you the exact color that it's going to create. You can just hit the copy hex button to copy the color code, and then if you go into Illustrator, we can paste that color code into our palette here. So double click this fill so that we get the color picker panel open, and then you can paste the color code down here, hit OK, and now we're ready to use that color. We don't need a stroke for this, so just the fill. Let's first make a triangle. So we're doing the cone, we want to make a triangle. A triangle is a polygon. We just need to create the right number of sides for our polygon. So if you just click on your artboard once, you can pick how many sides you want and it will pop up with your shape. Okay, so we have the triangle. Let's hit the select tool and resize it so that we can get our cone. Now we need to go back to our color palette and let's pick a color for our first ice cream flavor. So I think I'm gonna I want something that's very contrasted from the light orange for my cone, so I'm gonna choose this violet color. We're gonna copy the hex, go back to here, and first we have to put it in our color picker. So now that purple is right there on our palette. And then this time we're going to use the ellipse tool to make our first ice cream scoop. Now, the super basic, easy way of making an ice cream scoop would just to be doing a simple circle like this, but it's kind of just a circle on top of a triangle. We want to make this look legit, more like an ice cream scoop. When you scoop ice cream, there's always this little cloud type thing at the bottom. So we're going to put that in. It's just going to be a bunch of circles. So I'm just doing the ellipse tool over and over again. I'm pressing and holding shift as I do it, so it makes a perfect circle and not an oval. And there we have it. Let's select that whole thing. We want to combine all those circles together to create one single shape, but we don't want to include the triangle. So press and hold shift and then click on the triangle to deselect it, so we just have the circles. And then come over here to Pathfinder, and we're going to unite all of these shapes. It is now combined into one shape. Let's add another scoop, and we want to pick our next color. I'm going to do this fairy tale pink. So let's copy that hex code. We're going to paste it into here. And I am making my next scoop. Okay, same thing. Let's select all of that. We don't want to combine it with our previous scoop, so we want to make sure that's deselected. I'll press and hold shift, click on it. So now just my pink circles are selected, and I'm going to combine it with the Pathfinder. So now I have 3 shapes here. I have 2 scoops, triangle. It's looking nice. Now at this point you can kind of get creative, add what you want. If you want to add a background, sprinkles, I'm gonna add a cherry. Okay, maybe I'll add some sprinkles. I could take another color from here, maybe the vanilla, copy that, and do some sprinkles. I'm just gonna use the blob brush tool for my sprinkles. So I'm thinking this looks pretty good, right? But there's something we can do to make it look even better. Right now it's pretty flat. It doesn't have any shadows or any depth to it, which is fine depending on the style, but we're gonna learn how to add some depth to this to make it look even cooler. So we have our ice cream. Let's first work on this top scoop. Basically what I want to do is I want this bottom part to have a shadow and the top part to have more of a highlight. Okay? So what I'm going to do is use the knife tool. The knife tool is like cutting a sandwich. We can cut something in half and make it two separate pieces. So currently this is one full single shape. I'm going to use the knife tool to just cut a nice curved line across. Okay? So now I still have those two shapes that feel like they're grouped together, but what we need to do is deselect it. So click away with the selection tool, and now we should be able to select both of those parts separately. So let's select this bottom part and double click the color. We're going to make it just slightly darker, and now it has a bit of a shadow. Okay, so we can do this with the bottom. You can do the shadow lots of ways. You could just do a nice curved line across. You could also make it a little more like this. Okay, we gotta deselect, click on that bottom part, make it a little darker. So however you want to do the shadow, either way works. Okay, and then let's add one to the cone. So we're gonna click and drag across with the knife. The thing about the knife tool is if you don't make it all the way across, if you get really close to the edge but you don't quite cut it, it's still just going to be one single shape. It's not going to be separate. So you really need to make sure you're cutting all the way across. I like to start generously far away from my shape. All the way over here, we're cutting so that we ensure we're getting the whole thing cut across. Okay. Deselect. Let's make this a little bit darker. Okay. Let's do it with the cherry as well. And then make this a little darker. Okay. And there we have it. Our ice cream with some nice shadows, textures. Add whatever else you want. Some people like to add whipped cream on top or some chocolate drips. So that is it.